The UK's economy is changing. Interest rates have been increased drastically over the past year, and inflation has risen to over 10%. But what does all of this mean, and what impacts will this have on your finances and on Sheffield? Well, inflation is a tool that we use to measure increases in prices. The government has kept inflation steadily low until 2021, when it started rising. Now inflation has reached over 10%. To put that simply, a shopping basket worth £40 in 2021 would now cost you about £5 more, and that is the highest rate of inflation that we've seen in over 40 years. But what about interest rates? Well, these are the rates that you get back when you save money with a bank. But it is also the money that you have to pay back to a bank in order to get a loan, like a mortgage, for example. So to put that simply, it's like a price of borrowing money. The Bank of England has kept interest rates low for the past 10 years, until they started to raise them towards the end of COVID, and last week they were increased to 4.25%. So, what does this mean for South Yorkshire and Sheffield?
I have a car that I pay for on PCP, so the interest rates for that were like 7% and now they're 13%, so obviously that's a big jump. I've noticed it on things like that.
I think it's had quite a big impact on people in general with sort of high interest rates, high mortgage rates. I think it could be quite easily avoided if the government actually had a better aspect and a better grasp of what actually normally people on the ground are thinking.
It's more of a knock-on effect of the overall effect on the economy, so people being squeezed because of the higher interest rates on their mortgage and things like that, trying to cut corners a little bit more, just decreasing the amount of money they're spending.
With Jeremy Hunt supporting the Bank of England in further raising interest rates in order to curb inflation, many worry that people will end up paying thousands more on their mortgages, and this will be especially hard during the cost of living crisis. But what do the experts think?
From the Bank of England's perspective, they should be increasing interest rates. I guess what's more of a concern is the fact they are raising interest rates in a period of low growth. So by raising interest rates, they may actually be pushing the economy back into a recession, which has further implications down the line. The Bank of England is trying to do its best under the circumstances to keep inflation low. Much of the response from the government, I guess, is political rather than economic in terms of their response.
It may be hard to predict what will happen with the economy in the next month, year, or even 10 years, but with inflation continuing to rise, that does not rule out further increases to interest rates. This is Adam Husicka, Chef News.